topic, and that's pretty much talking about, well, the big topic for this week. And it's talking about how we're seeing technology change the landscape of our network stores. And this was motivated by, I went to Walmart, our local Walmart that I go to is going through some renovations right now. They're pretty much almost done. And they have the scan and go checkout machines as well as the Walmart pickup machine, which is a huge tower that you can go pick things up. And that started me, doing some research to kind of get an idea how we got here, and I'm gonna go over that as well as where we going with this and how it affects people. So, how did we get this? Well, first of all, the idea of having a first true checkout line that didn't start until 1916 because at first the way people used to buy things, they would take their list, go to the cashier worker handling their list, and she would go to all these to the back of the store or whatever, pick up the meat, pick up whatever you need while you stay in line and bring it to you. That was how it would work. And, she'd bring it to you and she'd ring it out. But in 1916 in Memphis, Tennessee, Piggly Wiggly introduced a way where, hey, look, you go pick a basket, or you pick whatever, you go out there, you pick whatever you want, and you bring it to the cashier and cash it out. And that was the first true checkout line. And after that, we started to see it continue to evolve where we at now. As far as what we see the self-checkout machine, well, when I did some research on that, I actually had some conflicting results. Now, if I go to Wikipedia, it says David Humble was the person who invented the machine. But when I started doing even more, some other research, it led me to someone else. So for now, I'm going to just say that, they have David Humble as one of the inventors. But when I read news.com at .au, they point to Dr. Howard Snyder, a Canadian physicist who invented it in the 80s. Now, for him, what he did, it was kind of like a side project, and he was looking for something to do, do to come up with something, and that's what he came up with. Now, his decision to move on from it was because the more and more he had to buy parts for it, it started to kind of affect his family. It was bankrupt to him. His wife kind of went up to him like, look, all the money we have, you're basically spending on this project here, and you need to do something with it. And so he basically said, all right, look, I'm gonna sell this thing off, and he pretty much made just enough to be able to buy a house and a car, and that was it. And then after that, the company he sold it to, Optimal Robotics, decided to sell it to Fuji for about $30 million. And right now, Fuji just rolling in money right now because, well, all these stores are picking this up. Walmart, you see them at Target, Kroger's, and some Publix have them. The more places you go, the more these machines are getting out there. You gotta think, man. Mr. Snyder may have felt like, yo, man, I may have let this thing go too quick, because this company out here, I mean, this thing is making some money. But at the time, let's be honest, in the 80s, when he invented, even in the 90s, it wasn't, doable. Matter of fact, if you look at where we at now with the technology, one of the things he complained about, because he had used his own, as he said, use his own invention, he kind of hated it right now, as he went to a grocery store and like, man, this thing is kind of, it's frustrating. It's not what I intended it to be. But early on, and even some of the places that still have the older version now, it just kind of, it has some issue with the simple fact where it's still trying to, figure out the technology where, I know Walmart, before they kind of upgraded their machine, every time I try to scan out, it'll tell you, you got something in the bag, you got something in the area, please, contact the assistant. So like every 2 items I put in there, I'm contacting the assistant again to have her come in there and input stuff. So like it actually took longer to get through the line than had I just did it, at a cashier. So even though it had potential, it's like it was kind of buggy and had issues. But as we start to see this technology continue to evolve and get to the point where it's better, and the newer machines they have right now is actually, working much better where, you really need an assistant. You can actually go through there, scan everything out, and not have any issues with, it not recognizing what you're getting. It's kind of changing the landscape of how we shop. And it opens the door for a number of reasons. For one, checkout lines, man. The main reason a lot of us go to those scan and go places because when you go, to your local grocery store or to your Walmart or whatever, and let's say you got 3 or 4 items, you're trying to, get in and out, and you behind a line that's wrapped around the store, especially if you go to Walmart. Anyone who's been in Walmart, they have been notorious where, you go out there, they got 30 checkout lines and only 4 of them open. And of the four that's open, everybody's wrapped around it twice. And you see like a number of associates, walking back and forth, and you like, can one of you guys, get on the register because I just want to get these 4 items and go. So, they've been notorious of this, and so I can see like people like me, like, look, I am not trying to wait in this long line. Let me go ahead, and I'm willing to do it myself. If you just let me do it myself, I can get in and get out. And that's where this opened up and makes sense for people to try and get in and out, man. Let me get my 3 out and let's roll out. I'm not trying to be in this long line, but there are some cons to that because of the simple fact it do open up for people to fraud the system and steal, and that's something that at the end of the day, no matter what you do, you're always going to have some people who may be dishonest with it. An example may be, they can lean on the scale a certain way or pick it up a certain way, whether it be when they weighing fruits and stuff to kind of manipulate the weight of the scale. They may try to pass off 2 items as one and throw it in the bag. A number of things they may try to do to try to, get over on the system. And unfortunately, you're going to have people doing that. And the only way they can kind of, resolve that on their end is maybe have an associate that's in the middle that's watching and go from there. But at the end of the day, those tools do open up areas of, opportunity and making things kind of better for customers. Especially the quick pickup. I was seeing that a YouTube video showing how that worked, and I thought it was kind of unique, and I could see where it has some potential. So, with a quick pickup thing with Walmart is you can go on your phone, you can order something, you click a button, whatever, and once you go to a quick pickup thing, you scan your barcode, and in an instant, it's right there ready for you to pick your item up and go. And where this is, I can see it's very useful is for those that's always on the go. Let's say you got something you need to pick up, whether it be like a laptop case or the kids need some poster board, or now is kind of a good time, which may be useful. If you don't have time to go to Amazon, wait for them to send you, school supplies. So you got this list of school supplies from your kids. You got to pick up some stuff for school tomorrow, and you got to list at the last minute. So now you got to go to Walmart at the last minute, and you like, I am not feeling like getting in that line and waiting behind all those folks, all trying to get school supplies. Not today. I got to work tomorrow. I'm not feeling it. There got to be a better way. Well, there is. You better go into the app, pick up all the stuff that is on that list, click on each one of it, and then while you're driving there, an associate is grabbing your stuff, probably putting it all together. Then once you get there, you scan that barcode, you can grab your stuff and go. It's like literally, you can literally, now you got to park the car. You can probably just pull up to the curb, tell your kid, hey, take your smartphone, scan that barcode, go to the pickup line, grab it, get back in the car. We heading back to the house. I mean, quick pickup, and it makes sense. I can understand why this works, and I'm loving the fact that we're taking innovation and using it in a way that is going to continue to help allow us to continue to get through our lives, especially the more busier and busier we continue to get. And for Amazon or Walmart, it allows them to compete with Amazon. Now, personally, I wouldn't use this for food, for the simple fact that when it comes to stuff like fruit, vegetables, even canned items, I want to go out there and take a look at what I'm getting. Like one person said when we first talking about it, when you trust an associate to go get it, they're not going to go to the back and grab the milk in the back. They're going to grab the first thing they see. So where, you may want to grab the milk in the back to get a long expiration date. If they grab the first one they see, it may have a short expiration date. Same thing with eggs and something like that. And right now in this era where we're seeing, basically from my earlier topic where we're talking about DoorDash skimming off the top and all this stuff, we still don't really trust people in businesses enough, especially not with food. So you're going to trust a company or an associate in the back to pick up your food and bring it to you? What's to keep them from grabbing the stuff they were about to throw away and throw it in a bag and hand it to you? Stuff that they say, well, we about to throw this thing away, or say that these are foods that were close to expiration date and we don't have much time to it. What's to keep that from happening? Especially if their boss back there is like, man, we trying to get some incentives. We're trying to make, a certain sell point. We're trying to find ways to get the most out of something. and pressure them to say, look, don't worry about grabbing stuff on the shelf. Use some of this stuff right here. Throw it in the bag. They're not gonna know the difference. And yeah, they're doing that, especially if they're working at Walmart. They're not gonna probably question it, or they may question it, but they may feel like, look, I may question it, but I need this job, so this is the boss man tell me to do. I'm gonna do it. And as a person who go out there and choose they want a certain fruit they want, or like me personally, if I go grab food, whether it be fruit, vegetables, whatever, I want to make sure it's the freshest. And I want to go out there and look at it myself. Look around, smell it, see the atmosphere of the area, kind of go from there. And yeah, when it comes to food, for me, I would not use that for this. Now some people may be using it for food, and so for those that are, I'm kind of curious how that work out for you. But me, I wouldn't use it. It may be for something that's like box goods that I'm not really concerned about. Something like maybe if you get like a box of cake mix or something like that, maybe. But even then, I'm still a little bit concerned, because again, I want to look at the expiration date. I want to make sure it's not moldy. I want to make sure it wasn't something that was on a ground that got kicked underneath the shelf somewhere, that some worker swept from under there. That's probably been there for a year or two. That, oh man, this was on the ground. Let me find some place to go with it. Oh, I could throw it in the trash, or I can put it in this guy's bag who decided to do it on pickup. I'm gonna put it in this guy's bag. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't use it for food, but for like the other thing that you go to Walmart for, like I said, cleaning supplies, quick items, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, stuff like that. Yeah, I can see that jumping on that. And that's a great use for that. Now, this is changing the landscape and how we shop, and it do ask the question of how it affects jobs. Because, yeah, when you open this avenue of technology up to where we are at now, it do change the landscape. Because now that we going to scan and go, we're not going to the cashier anymore. And if we're not going to the cashier, we don't need any more cashiers, or not that many. Where before you may have a store full of cashiers, you don't need that. You just need maybe one or two people to stand in that little corner and make sure that the 5 or 6 people that are buying out of these quick checkout lines are not stealing, or if they have a problem with something, you can walk over there real quick and push a button. That means you're shrinking the amount of people you're hiring by almost, 40, 50%. Where you have like a store full of 10 cashiers, you can just have 2 people sit there and get by, and that's good enough. With maybe 2 other people that are there as a backup just in case. And this asks the question of, well, if we're going down this road, what's it going to be for, let's say, someone who's in the older generation who may feel like, man, you're taking my job away. I can't quite adapt to this new technology like you want me to do. I'm still struggling with learning how to use my phone, how to use computers. I'm not good with it. And you're taking away this job that I have. And yeah, where I'm supposed to go? How am I supposed to get beyond this? And I understand that argument. But it do open a door for other industries, because yeah, you may not have as many cashiers, but someone got to maintain those machines. Because when you have a store full of machines and 1 or 2 of them break down, well, it starts to, be a cog in the wheel and slow everything up and cause a bottleneck. Somebody got to fix it. And you can't just grab the associate in the corner and tell them to try to fix this complicated machines, especially something where, yeah, there's a lot of technology involved. And if you're one of these companies that said, look, I gave you this machine, but you open this up, you void your warranty. These stores are not going to avoid that, especially with a associate that may be paying $9, $10 an hour for it and having to open that machine up to try to fix it. And they don't know what they're doing. They're going to breaking even more things, or making the repair costs even more expensive. So this pretty much opens the door where instead of you paying this $9 an hour worker to, work in the back and stock groceries, whatever, now you got to pay this person a little bit more to actually fix this machine. And that means for someone that's in the market looking for a way to reinvent themselves, this is the way to do that. Yes, you may not be able to rely on being a cashier anymore or stocking groceries, but, if you're willing to utilize what you have around you, utilize the internet, utilize, going on and do some research, you may learn how to fix this stuff. And if you learn how to fix it, you can make a good living doing this. And let's take something like that pickup machine. I look what's all involved. I know they have hydraulics connected to it, a lot of electronics. They're gonna need someone to fix it when that thing goes down because the more and more people that use it, especially when it comes to machines break. That's the one thing about machines. It will break, and if you're someone who know how to fix it, you're gonna be able to command $1 to fix that because when it comes to something like that that's in high demand, it's gonna need to work. And something like Walmart that's 24/7, pretty much almost 365. When you use something that much, with that many hands on it, with the public just using it, just banging on it, not everyone is going to be gentle with it. And over time, it's going to wear out, it's going to have damage, and you need someone who can fix it. And that's where it do change that. And the same thing with last week's topic where I talked about us using drone deliveries to get people their supplies and seeing that eventually open up to the point where we're going to use that for delivering people beyond just medical stuff, but food, clothing, and delivering food, everything. You're going to have to hire a drone, someone to fly that drone. And you're not going to hire someone that's off the street that never flew a drone before because that opened that company up to liability. If someone like a UPS or even a Papa John somewhere, they fly a drone in somebody's car or somebody's house, you can bet that person is going to go after Papa John. They're not going after that drone, the person that flew into the house. They're going after the big company. They're going to be like, look, I'm going to try to get everything I can out of it. So these companies realize the liabilities that come with coming up with all these new intricacies of technologies. And when you do that, you're going to want to make sure you hire professionals that can fix it and make sure it works because, if it don't, you have a big liability in your hands. And this is where I know that for a lot of people who are concerned with technology getting in the way and innovation killing jobs and being something to be afraid of, and I understand it, I really do. Especially, like I said, you've been doing something all your life. If you've been a cashier for 20, 30 years, this is what you've been doing all your life. That's pretty much all you know. You love the customer interaction. You love just that in general. And now someone's going to come to you and tell you, hey, man, you can't do it anymore because this job don't exist. We're giving it to a machine. I understand that frustration. I understand why you man, this is not something I'm feeling because, I only have like 2 or 3 more years that I plan on working. And now you want me to go back to school and try to figure out how to learn a whole new industry, something I'm not familiar with. And that I can see where that will cause a lot of concerns, a lot of fears, a lot of frustration for people who, have a problem with this. And, for a number of customers that go to stores who have said this, that, for them, they don't like these machines because, like I said, they don't have that interaction. They want to be able to talk to the person bagging their groceries, ask them how their day is. And, for them, going to a machine kind of, is intimidating because if they do have issues, they do have questions, they can't get that answered in a timely manner where with the cashiers right there, you say, look, I saw this for this amount of money. Here's a picture of the receipt. Can you credit me for it? She can do it instantly versus a machine where you got to wait for the that one person who would just monitor you to come over there and do that. And they may be less willing to help you out. And I've actually ran into that where I went to Walmart and I had a picture. I said, look, I bought this ruler, or I picked this ruler up and it was like this amount of money. Here's a copy of the receipt. Can you credit for that? And she's like, nah, that's not nothing I can do. And went back to standing in her little corner. And so if you went to a cashier, they were like, okay, I see what it is. Okay, you know what? All right, I know it's 30 cents, but I'm going to take care of it because, customer service. And this is going to be the difference for a lot of people why they're going to be more hesitant when to adopt this and when to lean to those machines. But at the end of the day, this is where we're going with technology. And as fearful as a lot of people may be, there are some benefits. And the benefits can do a lot to help everybody in general and continue to allow our technology to help people in the long run.